The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and/or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
Hey! A triple feature, 3 films up on the screen. One's a little heavy, one's a little sleek, and one's just caught between.
We'll laugh and cry and overanalyze, dig through themes with wide, wild eyes.
Grab some popcorn, take your seat.
3 times the fun, 3 times the treat.
Hey! A triple feature!
That's what we're here to do.
What we're here to do.
Buckle up, the lights go down, and we'll watch
Them all with you!
I've retired the Muppets. What do you think about that, Shay?
I think it's a neat intro.
Yeah, I decided that the actual Suno prompt was take all the elements of Hey a Movie from The Great Muppet Caper and write in a 30-second intro to Triple Feature. Since the AI knows the Triple Feature podcast, it more or less did that. I like the fact that it kept Hey in there. Because Hey a Movie, Hey a Triple Feature, because I rush everything that I do and don't take the time to make sure it doesn't do stuff like that. So then when it does, I'm like, well, I'll just live with it. Anyway, hey! A triple feature. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined tonight by my girlfriend, Erica Poe. How you doing, Erica?
Hello, I'm good.
Fantastic. And back again, because she is the master of all things musical. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shay Tate. How do you do?
I am doing pretty good.
It's our monthly, bi-monthly get-together to talk about musicals. Are you excited about this?
Yes.
Outstanding. Tonight, we are talking Les Misérables from 2012, The Phantom of the Opera 2004, and Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street 2007. These 3 films mark the apex of modern musicals' uneasy migration from stage to screen. A trilogy, not by design, but by evolution. Each emerges from the late 20th century's golden age of theatrical spectacle and finds itself reinterpreted through the lens of 21st century cinema. Cinema! Together, they form a lineage, a sung-through mega-musical as prestige film, the Gothic and the grand rendered in flesh and lens. Les Misérables was a long-awaited culmination of decades of development hell. Cameron Mackintosh, who produced the original 1985 stage juggernaut, had been pursuing a film version since the 1990s. Alan Parker and Bruce Beresford each came and went before Tom Hooper, fresh off the King's Speech, finally realized it for working title and Universal. Hooper insisted on recording vocals live on set rather than lip-syncing, a radical choice that gave the film a rough immediacy. Released in 2012, it earned 8 Oscar nominations and won 3 Best Supporting Actress for Anne Hathaway, whose I Dreamed the Dream remains one of the most emotionally naked performances in any modern musical. The Phantom of the Opera had a similarly labyrinthine path. Andrew Lloyd Webber spent over 15 years protecting his 1986 global hit from Hollywood interference, rejecting several scripts and directors before settling on the redeemed Joel Schumacher in the early 2000s. Shot at Pinewood Studios with massive sets and a $70 million budget, it starred Emmy Rossum, Patrick Wilson, among others. Its critical reception was mixed, lavish, but uneven. But it proved commercially robust, grossing over $150 million worldwide and reigniting global tours of the stage version. Webber personally oversaw the score adaptation, making it one of the rare screen musicals where the composer maintained total creative control. Tim Burton's Sweeney Todd completes the trinity, arriving as both homage and reinvention. Adapted from Stephen Sondheim's 1979 masterpiece, the film reunites Burton with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, this time replacing Sondheim operatic bombast with an industrial dirge. Its production design by Dante Ferretti, who won an Oscar for it, turns Victorian London into a sepulchral nightmare of soot and shadow. Unlike Hooper or Schumacher, Burton strips away visual excess to reveal decay and moral rot. The camera is intimate, the palette ashen, the blood hyperreal. It's debatable. Depp and Bonham Carter both perform their own vocals, creating an intentionally claustrophobic soundscape that suits the story's madness. The film earned 2 Oscars for art direction and best costume design, and stands as one of the few faithful yet cinematic Sondheim adaptations ever attempted. All 3 films center on redemption through performance or of suffering. Each protagonist, Jean Valjean, the Phantom, and Sweeney Todd, is a damaged man reconstructing his soul through music and obsession. The camera, each becoming an accomplice in that redemption. Hooper's unflinching close-ups, Schumacher's romantic soft focus, Burton's razor-sharp chiaroscuro. Their world may differ, France's Revolution, Paris's Opera House, and London's slums, but they share a fascination with moral theater. Men and women punished for love, dreaming of transcendence, but trapped in systems of cruelty. There's also an industrial lineage at work. Les Misérables embodies the prestige era of British-backed Oscar musicals, where grit meets grandeur. Phantom is the last grasp of the pre-CGI studio spectacle, where sets were built, costumes stitched, and melodrama unabashed. Sweeney Todd arrives in the digital century, translating the grandeur into gothic minimalism. Across these films, you can trace Hollywood's shifting comfort with theatrical excess, from sincerity to irony, from velvet to rust. Each film, despite mixed reviews at release, found its place in the canon of musical cinema. Les Misérables renewed confidence in the genre, paving the way for La La Land and The Greatest Showman. Phantom remains a gateway for an entire generation of young viewers who discovered opera through cinema. And Sweeney Todd, though darker and less commercial, established the viability of horror musicals and shaped the visual grammar for later styled adaptations like Into the Woods and Anna and the Apocalypse. So tonight's triple feature, therefore, isn't just about 3 musicals. It's a study in adaptation, tone, and the persistence of grand emotion and aids that prefers irony. From barricades to catwalks to Barber's chairs, these films remind us that the human voice, amplified raw yearning, still cuts deeper than any blade. Shay Tate, how familiar were you with any of these prior to my forcing you here to do these?
Oh, I am incredibly familiar with all of these. These 3 are some of my favorite musicals. That at least long-standing musicals that have been on. They've been on Broadway forever. Anybody who's been in theater for long enough has either done one of these, seen one of them, or at the very least knows them very intimately.
I saw Les Mis on Broadway. It remains to this day my favorite musical of all time. I absolutely love this. I was telling Erica, and I'll bring Erica in on this. Oh, you changed your hair thing. You went from horns to dog ears.
Well, because we're starting out with Phantom of the Opera, right?
No, we're starting out with Les Mis.
Yeah. I'm wearing Les Mis because it's your favorite musical, and I made you wear this to the Halloween party. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
I have very vivid memories when I was a kid of the Broadway score being like advertised on television, like to buy as a soundtrack. And because they're editing it and they're cutting it for this commercial, they cut out like a piece of Master of the House that is so bombastic. And there's a bit where just like, Master of the House, don't make me laugh. Like that lives like rent free in my fucking head. It's such a powerful musical, which I have words to say about the movie. But every bit of it, every song, the whole, the theme of the musical, every performance, like they said, the Broadway version that I saw, I don't have a bad thing to say about it. It is by far and away my most favorite musical I've ever seen. I have never before this movie, and before watching the movie, I'd never seen the Phantom of the Opera. I'm aware of like a Nightwish version of that song, and a Me First and the Gimme Gimme's cover of it.
Okay.
But I've never seen a performance of Phantom of the Opera. I've never watched the movie prior to this triple feature, so I had nothing going into it. And then the next one, I'd never seen Sweeney Todd either. I kind of threw it on here because it made sense. It made more sense to be on this triple feature than on next week's Tim Burton focus.
Yeah.
What about you, Erica? What's your familiarities with any of these other than you just watched them all with me?
Well, yeah, I watched them all with you. I had a English professor when I was a senior in high school that was very into theater, and we watched snippets of all three of these in class.
Hmm.
And so I had seen snippets of all three of them, not these movies, obviously, because I'm not 21. Um, yes. So I have seen snippets of performances of these musicals, but I never seen the movies. I have some thoughts that I'm going to share. Um, but my favorite is Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, when I told her we were doing this, Shay, I was like, I'm going to show Jonas Master of the House. I want to show Jonas Les Miserables.
Mhm.
I think he'll really like it. I think he's so much like me. Like he'll probably come away with the same way that I feel about Les Miserables. Just an aside, Mac is the funniest guy. He was like, we were talking about something, and he was like, I don't want to watch a movie called The Miserables. Like movies should be fun, and I'm like, oh, Mac.
Yeah, I think his exact quote is usually, "My life is miserable enough. I don't want to watch a movie called The Miserable People."
Yeah. God bless Mac. But yeah, I thought Jonas would really come away with a lot having watched Les Miserables. And then Erica, who is the hurricane of my life, said, no. Never mind Les Miserables. Show him Sweeney Todd. Turns out he really likes Sweeney Todd. The three of us watched it last Saturday and he absolutely loved it. So have you real quick, Shay, have you worked on in any of your um history of professional makeup artist or stagehand or things that have you ever worked on any productions of any of these three?
So I haven't worked on any productions of them. I watched a professional version of Les Mis when I was 14-ish. But a lot of these films are actually a little bit too big for what we usually do at the or what I used to do with the community theater in Des Moines.
All right, let's get into Les Mis. As I said, Les Mis is a 2012 epic period musical film directed by Tom Hooper from a screenplay by William Nicholson, Alan Bublé, Claude Michel Schoenberg, and Herbert Kretzmer. It's based on the stage musical of the same name, which is in turn based on the 1862 novel Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Victor Hugo, his books are huge, like phone book sized. The film stars Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Anne Hathaway, Eddie Redmayne, Amanda Seyfried, Helena Bonham Carter, Sacha Baron Cohen, with Samantha Barks, Aaron Tveit, and Daniel Huddlestone in supporting roles. Set in France during the early 19th century, the film tells the story of Jean Valjean, who, while being hunted for decades by the ruthless policeman Javert, after breaking parole, agrees to care for a factory worker's daughter. The story reaches resolution against the background of the June Rebellion of 1832. It was budgeted at $61 million. It made a nice, tidy sum of $442.8 million. Won a bunch of awards, not the least of which was, as I said before, the Best Supporting Actress for Anne Hathaway. Let me start off with this. When I brought this up with other people, everyone complained about like Russell Crowe singing as Javert. Let's just start with that.
Did he really sing?
He does sing. He really does. I didn't have a problem with the tone of his voice. I had a problem with the power of his voice. But I had a problem with the power of everyone's voice in this version. Again, having seen the stage musical, it's so powerful. Those people are belting from the stage to the popcorn stand. When Javert is like calling him 24601, that one it's like the Bugs Bunny cartoon, A Night at the Opera, where it's just like everything is shaking. It's so good.
It is. It's this. Oh, this.
I don't know
this
why he
movie
put this here, but poop in a box. Tread carefully, Mark. Good grief.
Okay.
Oh, that's why he said. He said, if anyone has anything negative to say about Gerard Butler and Phantom, I will mail you poop in a box. All right. And I feel the same about Russell
Oh
Crowe
my
and Les
God.
Miserables. Now I'm caught up. And then, poop in a box. Tread carefully, Mark. Okay. Go ahead, Shay. Now that we've got Ron's terrorism out of the way.
This musical really kind of suffered from casting because they decided to choose star power. over who could actually fucking sing. I think so. Hugh Jackman and the girl that played Eponine were, I think they were the only like active Broadway performers in that movie. And I don't think Hugh Jackman should have played Jean Valjean. I think he should have played Javert. I've heard some of the other stuff that he has done on Broadway, and he can get very powerful. But when he gets very powerful, it's very clipped. And I feel like it would have sounded a lot like Terrence Mann's version in the original Broadway score. And I think it would have been a lot better. I'm not sure who I would have put it for Jean Valjean. It is really hard to get that fucking range. Paul Wilkinson does it in the original score, and even he has trouble with it sometimes.
Yeah, I really struggled. Like, don't get me wrong, I like all three of these movies. Let me give away the ending. I liked all three of these. I would watch all three of these with my son and my daughter. Both have varying interests in musical theater. I think because, again, having seen the Broadway musical first, I was expecting that, like, the singing in Les Mis really moves me. This didn't. So I was kind of left disappointed by Russell Crowe. Not that he sings badly, but it's muted. Hugh Jackman is muted. Anne Hathaway, I like her version, but it's muted. Fucking Ronnie.
Yeah, it's not a.
That's it. Poop all around except Erica.
Thank you.
And I'll say this, I'll get Eric into the conversation. Like I said, the singing is too muted for me. It's not as powerful. Like, Les Misérables should sound more like an opera, which the movie version doesn't. I'll tell you what, though. The kid who played the young version of Cosette, her song is good. That's probably
it was really good. She did a really good job.
Yeah, that's probably the most stage accurate of the entire theatrical. Before I give it over to Erica, I gotta make this one complaint. I fucking hate this version of Master of the House. The stage musical version of Master of the House is so bombastic and over the top. Like, there should be a metal version of it. It's that good. Like,
Master of the House is a fucking banger in the musical.
Right? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. I'm not completely coming out of left field with this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
As soon as that, like, even if it's in your Spotify shuffle list, as soon as that comes around, you immediately want to start getting up and jumping around.
Oh yeah. You could mosh to Master of the House.
Oh yeah.
And Sacha Baron Cohen fucking ruined it. I got actively angry watching that scene. And I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be angry watching this movie. But I'm like, God damn it. Like, I was really looking forward to Master of the House, and it sucks, this version.
Dorian and I thought it would have been so much funnier if instead of Sacha Baron Cohen, it was
anyone else?
The really short dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Danny DeVito?
Yes, Danny DeVito.
That would have been funny.
Been so much better.
Danny DeVito for Christopher Lloyd's voice. Master of the House.
Oh, yeah.
Erica, we're talking about the singing. What did you think of the singing in the movie?
The singing, it was fine. It was fine. I mean, I don't want a movie screaming at me. So even if the movie was not muted in its singing, as to use your terms, I would have turned it down. I don't want to be yelled at. Sorry, no. I hated this movie. I hated it.
Really?
It was too long. It was 3 hours too long.
Okay. Erica's not into the 3-hour movie. She's into the short films. 20 minutes.
I can definitely understand that.
Oh, you've angered Ronnie. Now you get poop too.
I don't care. I'll take poop to say that I hated this movie. I hated this movie.
All right. did you not feel like it had enough story to fill up 3 hours?
It didn't need that much story. It didn't need that much time. It was just way too long. It could have been an hour and a half, and everybody would have walked away with the same good feelings and the same songs. There could have been less dialogue singing. I hate dialogue singing. I hate it. Makes me grit my teeth.
I'd like to remind the audience that Erica asked to be here tonight.
I did, because I want to talk about Sweeney Todd. But
Okay.
anyway,
Please don't ever read the book.
no.
I know so much more about French military tactics than I ever fucking wanted to.
Can you speak to that? Can you speak to the translation from the book to the musical? Since you've read the book.
So there's a lot cut out from the book to the musical, and honestly, I think they did it really well. So the book is a long, sprawling, kind of.
Isn't Les Miserables in some senses like The Fugitive? It's
Yeah.
Javert chasing Jean Valjean all over Europe.
So it's Javert chasing Jean Valjean, and I'm pretty sure it's entirely in France and England. But it just there's so fucking much. There is so damn much in that book.
Right. I remember watching the musical and like being really into the first half, and the second half is entirely the revolution. So like it gets to Erica's point, being fair to my fair girlfriend. The second half of the movie is so tonally different than the first half. And I remember thinking that about the musical, but not caring as much because I like the songs. In the movie, because the songs aren't pulling me along, and there's less of the fugitive chase between Javert and Jean Valjean, which, by the way, the other thing that I think the movie, I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering it, and you can tell me, Shay. I feel like in the musical, there was more of a tension and chase between Jean Valjean and Javert. Like, they keep crossing paths, and it's like, it's like a wrestling feud build up. Like, by the time Javert kills himself because Jean Valjean let him go, it's like these two have had so many interactions, and it's been so tense, and like, and Javert is like always on the verge of like killing Jean Valjean. He hates him so much, and I don't feel like the movie captured that as well as it should have. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it definitely didn't capture that quite as well, and there were definitely more interactions. I know there were at least 2 or 3 in there before Valjean was like, "You motherfucker." But also, shit, what was I gonna say? If you want something that did Les Mis absolutely fucking right, it's not a musical, but it's the 99 one that's got Jeffrey Rush as Javert. Like it is incredible. Like it is peak drama, and it's a beautiful movie, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot shorter than this one.
Oh, good. I'll watch that one with Erica. Yeah. Is there a 20-minute version of Les Mis?
Oh, come on. Come on.
What was the time limit we established on Monday night or Sunday night, whenever it was we watched Les Mis? I think we decided that you can go for a specific set of time.
An hour and a half is my limit. 90 minutes.
Flat. 90 minutes flat. Okay. One more round on Les Mis, and then we'll move on. Anything else about... Those are my big criticisms of it. I think it looks good. I think it's acted well. I think the singing is lacking, and there's not enough of the tension between Jean Valjean and Javert. Shay, any other thoughts about the musical, the movie?
It's all right. It had some casting problems. I think it would have done really well from having a less like star-studded cast and more of an actually Broadway cast.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really pretty, and I liked some of it.
Oh, really
It
pretty is
definitely looked
really
good,
pretty is
and
our next. Really pretty is our next one. I have so many good things to say about Phantom. Eric, I'll give you the last word on Les Mis. Unless you've said all you need to say about it.
Like I said, no, like I'm not stealing the thunder of anybody that loves this movie. Great, good for you. I just didn't. It needed an intermission, and then that intermission was the hour and a half point, and I didn't need to see any of the rest of it. Nope.
It's just Eric is good. It's like John Valjean takes off with Cosette. It's like end of movie. Finn.
Yep, Finn. Mhm.
Fuck the French Revolution. All right. Let's move on to Phantom of the Opera. Like I said, I have never seen this before. I'm aware of Phantom. You can't be a theater kid and not know the fuck what Phantom is. And I know it's like metal bands have taken a run at covering the Phantom of the Opera theme song, so I'm aware of that much of it. This is a 2004 musical romantic drama film based on Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical of the same name, which in turn is based on Gaston Leroux's novel La Fantôme de l'Opéra. Produced and co-written by Lloyd Webber and directed by Joel Schumacher, the redeemed Joel Schumacher, Jesus' favorite son. It stars Gerard Butler as the titular character with Emmy Rossum, Patrick Wilson, Miranda Richardson, Minnie Driver, who shocked the shit out of me when I saw her in this. I was like, Minnie, is that you?
She was so great in this.
She really is. She's a fucking trip. Simon Callow, Ciaran Hinds, Victor McGuire, and Jennifer Ellison. This was budgeted at $80 million. Did not do all that great based on its budget. It made 154.6. But it has made, it has won shit ton of awards. Nominated for 3 Academy Awards, did not win any of them. Nominated for Golden Globes, 1 Saturn Awards, one other Critics' Choice Awards, etc., etc. So my favorite thing about Phantom of the Opera, besides the music is obviously really good. My God, this is a gorgeous looking movie. Holy crap! I was telling Erica, I don't know if you've ever seen Amadeus. But I think because the last couple of years, I've seen so many like CGI'd sets that when I see ornate, human-built, real physical sets, I am maybe more impressed than I should be.
Oh, absolutely.
This movie is gorgeous looking. Like I said, it reminded me of the TV show Rome on HBO. I was getting thoughts about Amadeus. This movie, the Opera House. I always say film should transport you to another world. That Opera House is its own world.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and it's beautiful. It's magnificent.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous and opulent and it's so theatrical in the best way possible.
I was kvetching, whining even on Monday about how going to the movie. What are you nodding for? That going to the movies is no longer an event. It's barely even like a happening. People take it for granted. Watching Phantom of the Opera reminded me that going to the theater, in this particular case, the opera, is an actual event that people used to look forward to. Get dressed up even.
Yeah.
And I was like,
why don't you get dressed up and go to the movies?
No. But it made me kind of miss the cultural acceptance of that idea. Not that I have to do it myself.
It's still fully accepted to go get dressed up and see live theater. When I was working at the Playhouse, we had people all the time would get dressed absolutely to the nines and go see whatever play was showing.
To that extent, if my dad were here, he would probably tell me that when he sees stuff at the Straz here in Tampa, people are dressed up for it. It's still kind of an event. But like, if you looked at the way the audience is dressed in Phantom of the Opera, like that it's an event to go see that. And it was not like there were more operas than not at the time, given how often these things are happening. But still, like, people treated it like it was, people treated it with the respect for the scarcity that it deserved, which I liked. I think the movie captures that well. Outside of that, it's a thin story. The music and the emotion carries the movie so that you don't realize just how thin the story really is. And my favorite part of this, and I'll shut up and I'll let you guys talk. My favorite part of this movie was when the Phantom finally does show up and he's fucking doing like a pro wrestling rant. Like, and the manager should stay in the office. Stop trying to be creative, and and you can't sing, and he's just fucking when he gives him the script for the new opera, and he's just calling everybody out and everything, and they're like, okay. I was like, gosh, that still happens. Like, that's a very modern thing that we're capturing here. I loved it. I thought it was great. What are your thoughts on the old Phantom movie, Shay?
I really like this film. It's actually one of the first movies to have gotten me really into musical theater. However, after having more experience in the theater and watching stage plays, even just filmed stage plays, I have started to realize where this film kind of falls flat, and a lot of it is with Gerard Butler.
Okay, explain.
So Gerard Butler, he's not a bad singer, but he doesn't have an operatic singing voice. To be completely honest, in 2004, when this film came out, it probably would have been really fantastic to actually get Michael Crawford, who is the original Phantom of the Opera in the Broadway show, to come back for that role. It also would have been a lot more accurate because Michael Crawford would have been around 60 at that time. So it would have placed them in right around the correct age ranges for like book accuracy.
Okay.
But everything else was absolutely wonderful. And I think for the time period that it came out, it being a little bit sparse on plot is understandable because audiences weren't really looking for that large scale, very, very long musical theater experience in a movie quite yet. It does cut out a lot of stuff from the musical itself, like the regular musical. But I don't think that's a terrible thing for the time period that it came out in.
I agree. I think it's comparing it to Les Mis. I actually think it's a better made movie than Les Mis. I think it's a despite the fact that it's a thin story, I think it's actually a tighter narrative. Erica, what did you think of Phantom of the Opera?
I enjoyed Phantom of the Opera. The opulence really captivated me, and it really sucked. It really captivated me. I thought it was the perfect amount of time. The singing was okay. I just thought it was a better all-around movie than Les Mis.
I really enjoyed Minnie Driver in this.
Yes, I forgot about her. Minnie Driver is amazing in this movie.
Yeah, she's really funny. She did a great job with this. The costuming, I think, is also, it's one of the things we talk about it if it really jumps out at us. Both this and Les Mis, and then when we get to Sweeney Todd, it's one of those things where this is one of those legs on the stool that if it doesn't work, like the whole thing starts to unravel. I really thought the costumes, especially for the players in the opera, were very well done. What did you think of the costuming, Shay?
I absolutely loved the costuming. I can't say it was highly accurate, but Phantom of the Opera also kind of exists in this weird nebulous space. I know that they said that at the start of the movie, it took place in the 1880s. But the theater is kind of this weird nebulous, timeless space in general. So the lack of historical accuracy in these films doesn't necessarily detract from it, because it's fucking theater. They would have had insane, bombastic, crazy ass costumes that didn't depict the time period, and we never get to see Christine outside of the theater.
Right.
So she doesn't have any regular clothing that she wears anywhere. It's always that like sexy ass robe or her tutu or whatever costume they've put her in.
My last question, because I think it's like the most obvious one, and I feel like we talked about everything but this. Do you feel like they, certainly better than Les Mis did, the music captured the spirit of the musical better? First, did it capture the spirit of the musical? Two, do you think it did a better job of that than Les Mis did?
I think it did a better job than Les Mis did. I don't think it did it quite right. But it was again, I pull it back to Gerard Butler. It's supposed to be that big, booming, operatic, like
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, actually, a lot like Christopher Lee.
Okay.
So Michael Crawford has.
Hang on 1 second. Have either of you ever heard Christopher Lee's Christmas album?
Yes.
No.
Oh God! Like I'm picturing he's singing like Little Drummer Boy. They call him bum, and him doing like that voice doing Phantom of the Opera. Forget about it.
Oh, that would be great. Because Michael Crawford actually does have a much lower voice. He has a huge range, just like Cole Wilkinson did. And he's actually played Jean Valjean a couple of times. But I just don't think Gerard Butler hit correctly. And with Emmy Rossum and Patrick Wilson trying to carry that damn movie, because aside from Gerard Butler, they sing the most.
Emmy Rossum, you said?
Emmy Rossum.
Rossum? That's the girl from Shameless, right?
I don't know.
Oh!
She doesn't watch TV.
I don't watch anything that's not horror or musical.
Yeah, don't ask Shay for cultural questions. I will look it up for you.
Never mind. It is. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Let's stick with you, Erica.
My heart hurts for you, Shay.
No. Shay's fine. You leave the sweet summer child alone. I won't let her bully you, Shay. I have you. Erica.
I live in a world that I have created myself.
Yes. You are in your garage with your things.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the last word on this, Erica. What do you think of the music and anything else you want to add to the discussion? And then we'll move on to Sweeney Todd.
I really liked the music. I really liked the story. It's a comfortable musical. It's a musical for the masses. And it's a movie for the masses. It did. I'm surprised it didn't do better, but they're streaming, whatever.
Okay. And in from the cheap seats here, Ronnie with a comment. Emmy Rossum is a trained operatic singer, was only 17 while filming this. So good for her.
I know. She's awesome in this movie.
And I'm pretty sure Patrick Wilson's been on Broadway for a chunk of time, too. It just...
Wonderful. I'm very glad, Ronnie, a very enthusiastic viewer of tonight's podcast.
I guess so.
All right. Let's move on to the whole reason Erica's here tonight.
Yes.
And of the three of these, the one I least wanted to watch, which is hilarious that this is the first one I watched and the one I watched with my kid, but that is the story of my life. I'm sure I'll make a passive aggressive jazz song about it. Because that's my new favorite. That's my new favorite thing. Anyway, let's talk about Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street, which I fucked up and was confusing with the barber of Seville. As a 2000, too many barbers and musicals for my taste. A 2007 gothic musical slasher film directed by Tim Burton, Hollywood's greatest monster. From a screenplay by John Logan, based on the stage musical of the same name by Stephen Sondheim and Hugh Wheeler. which in turn is based on the 1970 play Sweeney Todd by Christopher Bond. The film retells the melodramatic Victorian tale of Sweeney Todd, played by Johnny Depp, an English barber and serial killer. After arriving in London, Todd begins seeking revenge on Judge Turpin, who's played by Alan Rickman, who wrongfully convicted and exiled him in order to steal his wife. Sweeney Todd commits serial murders on his customers, and with the help of his accomplice, Mrs. Lovett, who's played by Helena Bonham Carter, processes their corpse into meat pies like you do. Since its release, the film has been widely assessed as one of the greatest musical films of the 21st century. It had a budget of $50 million. It made $153.4 million. So, Shay, I'm not even gonna give my opinion. Because I know you and Erica have been like waiting for this. This is like your shit, right? This is like peak Shay.
Yeah,
Sweeney
it
Todd?
definitely is.
Tell me all about it.
So Sweeney Todd is one of my favorite musicals. And the Sweeney Todd movie, I really love it. It did pare some things down, and it did cut some things out of the musical, but I think it works really well for it. So all of the things in the last two that were detriments to it, I think Sweeney Todd really used it to its advantage. It pared it down a lot better for general audiences. I also think that the casting of non-Broadway singers in this was actually a really good choice. I absolutely fucking love the original Broadway cast, and they do a fantastic job at it. But this musical is a lot darker, a lot more gritty, and it's a lot more about how disgusting and dirty and terrible things can be. And I honestly think having a couple of people who, with Johnny Depp, he's not a Broadway singer. He kind of chokes on his lines or on his singing a little bit. And I think him choking on his singing a little bit actually lends to the acting portion of this musical. And then Helena Bonham Carter not being able to sing at all is fucking fantastic. She sounds awful. She's supposed to sound awful, and you hate her for it.
She does. I'll tell you this: her awful singing fits better in this movie than her awful singing in Les Mis.
You know what? You know what didn't fit in this movie? Her dress. Like there was so much cleavage. I don't know.
You got to give the people what they want, and what people want are Helena Bonham Carter's tits. I don't understand. What's wrong
I guess so. I was like, am I a lesbian? I don't know.
So that's what you like, dirty Helena Bonham Carter? That's what does it for you?
I don't know. We're gonna have to explore that. I don't know. I don't want to go down that road. I don't think. But I really like this movie. I love the musical. I mean, the musical made it onto the best show ever, The Office. So, which Shay, you know nothing about. Okay. Oh God, it hurts my heart. But I love this movie. I think the singing. I think the fact that the actors chose to sing and they didn't knock it out of the park, I think that lends to the realism of them being vulnerable. I liked it a lot.
I think it does. It definitely increases how gritty the acting is. Which sometimes in a movie musical, you kind of have to focus more on the acting than you do on the...
especially in a horror musical.
Yeah.
One of the criticisms I do have, though, is I hate gore. And I just thought they went a little too far in that
You are talking to the wrong human about that.
I know.
Shay,
I'm a special effects artist.
I know.
Shay, Erica doesn't even know. Tell her about how much you...
In the way that your lack of pop culture, it hurts my heart. My disgust of gore hurts yours. And for that, I'm sorry.
Shay, tell Erica all about how you love to throw guts at the camera.
Yeah, I am a special effects artist, and I specialize in monster making. So yeah, Sweeney Todd is very much a thing that I enjoy. I honestly, I usually focus on like Universal monsters and like creature stuff, but I do definitely enjoy a very good gore film. Although you might actually like the stage play a little bit better. They do
Yeah.
still do the blood effects, but instead of like doing a splatter effect, they actually use spring-loaded ribbon that they shoot out
Ooh,
of.
see, that's now I can get behind that. Let's do that.
It's
Spring
so
loaded
much fun.
ribbon.
So much fun.
Like The Simpsons, where they replace the bullets with walkie-talkies, or guns rather, with walkie-talkies. So we all know how much I hate Tim Burton, and next week you and Mick and Alexis get to bully me, assuming everyone makes it to the show, about how wonderful Tim Burton is. And I will say this: Tim Burton, I don't love everything he does. I hate most of what he does. But on the occasion he gets it right, I have to be fair to Flair and say that, his aesthetic, his vision, his style suits certain projects really, really well. And he's really, really good at pulling off that particular aesthetic.
Hmm.
He did a great job with the look and feel of Sweeney Todd. And a musical I really didn't know anything about. I did it as part of this podcast, and that's about it. As a horror movie, as a slasher, I mean, this did not effectively scare me. I as much as we talk about, I don't really like gross. This didn't really bother me either. Watching people in a meat grinder. That's just my friend Gary. That's my friend Gary writing songs about putting old people in a meat grinder when we were in high school. So I watched that and I was just like, put them in the grinder. I was doing death metal vocals. Johnny Depp is also hit and miss with me. Like, he's great in Blow. He's great in certain things, and others I think
He's great in Edward Scissorhands, and you're gonna find that out soon enough.
So like I said, he's great in Blow. There's certain things I can tolerate him in, and then sometimes his worst stuff is with Tim Burton. Where, like, Tim Burton is just so infatuated with Johnny Depp. He lets Johnny Depp do dumb shit. My biggest example of this is Willy Wonka. That atrocious mess. I fucking hate it. And I hate Johnny Depp in it. It's probably one of the reasons why I have such a strong aversion to Tim Burton.
I've never seen it, or I don't remember it. I like the original with Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
Gene Wilder, you uncultured swine.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Oh gosh, I got the wrong.
How do you confuse Gene Hackman
How
with
can
Gene
I live
Wilder?
with myself? How can I live with myself? They're both old white men.
Get a load of her. Thinks Gene Hackman, Gene Wilder are the same guy.
You know what?
Even Roddy's like having a problem with this. Like, come on, man. Anyway, so yeah, tell us more about Christopher Reeve and Sweeney Todd. You were starting to say something, Shay. That's what I was trying to do there. No, okay.
I completely forgot.
I was talking about Johnny Depp, and I didn't know if you had any thoughts about that.
His Willy Wonka was fucking weird. The GameCube game was really great.
What was that?
I loved the GameCube game. I played the shit out of that as a kid.
I believe you.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I liked Johnny Depp has worked with Helena Bonham Carter a whole bunch with Tim Burton. So, like, the three of them know each other really well. They work together really well. No problems there. The kid is, I actually genuinely feel bad for the kid. I think overall, I'm going to throw this out there and I'll let you respond to it, Shay, and then Erica. When I think about all three of these, obviously there's songs from Les Mis that live rent-free in my head that have stayed with me since childhood. Phantom of the Opera is an earworm. I'll never not hear that in my head. Nothing from Sweeney Todd stayed with me. Not a thing. The music in this, I'm not saying is bad. I'm just saying for me it was not memorable. Your thoughts, Shay?
I think Sweeney Todd is a little more of a theater person's film. Because I do absolutely love several songs from here. I love Have a Little Priest. I love the Ballad of Sweeney Todd.
I love them all. I love them all.
Shit,
Most.
Oh yeah. And shit, sometimes when I'm in a fucking mood, I'll sing Greenfinch and Linnet Bird.
On my kids, I couldn't reproduce a single song from watching the movie last weekend. Meanwhile, I can sing you the entirety of Little Shop of Horrors, and you know this because you watched me do it when we talked about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I can do both Grease and Grease 2, as much as I fucking hate Grease 2.
I haven't seen Grease 2. I think you're putting me through that at some point next year.
Yeah, my birthday present to myself, my 50th birthday party, is making all of my friends watch Grease 2, because I like the gift of torture. Anyway, your thoughts on the music?
I think Tim Burton did his best to bring a very this is a pretty niche musical to general audiences. I would say this is about as niche as Jekyll and Hyde. No Place Like London is fucking great.
So blind.
No Place Like London was my go-to song to sing around the house for a while. Really? I like Reproduction. Reproduction, let your never mind. No Grease 2 fans. Okay. Erica, your thoughts on the music of Sweeney Todd?
The music of Sweeney Todd is fun, it's gritty, it's catchy, it's lighthearted at times. I just feel like it's just a better musical than the other two. It's a better musical than the other two, in my opinion.
What's your favorite song from Sweeney Todd, Erica?
Probably the Ballad of Sweeney Todd.
Okay. What's your favorite song from Sweeney Todd, Shay?
I just completely fucking blanked on every.
I'm this close to playing I'm fucking this close to doing this to you. At the, like, I don't understand. Like, what are we doing here?
It's pretty. Oh, it's fucking Have a Little Priest.
That's a good one.
Absolutely Have a Little Priest.
All right, so Ronnie has a question here. So, question: why did not going to the stage actor singer route work for this and not Phantom? Shay, what are your thoughts?
Range.
I think a lot of it is because of how darkly this is portrayed and how gritty and gross the entirety of the rest of the film is. This film is basically a 1970s gore house on Broadway. Pirelli's is pretty good too.
You know what? Now that he said it, that one kind of sticks in my head. I remember kind of jamming out to it when I was watching it with Jonas. So one song barely made my memory.
You were also getting sick, so maybe
I didn't get sick. I didn't get sick until the evening. I was fine during the day.
We watched the movie during the day.
Right. I didn't get sick until the night.
Okay, Mark.
All right. Anything else about Sweeney Todd before we start to close up?
I loved Sweeney Todd. I think it hit the feel a lot better than the other two. And I think it hit that like gritty grindhouse, like almost but not quite DIY kind of feeling real well.
I think that because of the grittiness of the movie and the musical, You know, when we're talking about grit, we're talking about people using their lower registers. So a male role for this is a little more forgiving vocally than a male role for Phantom of the Opera. So where they should have spent more money in Phantom of the Opera's male role, they really didn't need to for Sweeney Todd, because the range is not as demanding. It's just not.
I'll say this, kind of thinking about our discussion for the past hour. I'll tell you why Sweeney Todd doesn't register with me the way the other two do. When I think about, and Shay, I want to get your reaction to this. I want you to psychoanalyze me with your psychological brain. When I think about Broadway, when I think about traditional bombastic musicals, I really want to be blown out of my seat. Like, I want powerful opera baritone singing. You know, if I go to a live performance of something, I want the singers to knock me to the back row. And Les Mis does that naturally. Phantom of the Opera does that naturally. Sweeney Todd does not. And I think that's why it doesn't, other than I'm a little over everything that Sweeney Todd is. Like, I'm trying to give it like a fair hearing, but aesthetically, thematically, genre, it's just not my thing. But you guys wanted to talk about it. It fits with this, so I don't mind doing it. But I think for me, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, and you're gonna laugh. Like, the very first time I saw Cats, and I know Cats, people are like, Cats is like the worst thing ever. Hang on. The first time you hear Memories live, it's fucking amazing, and the singerism is amazing. And that's an example of that, like, blowing you to the back row with power and sadness and everything. And that's what I want, that emotional catharsis in my Broadway. So I think that's why the first two are sitting better with me than Sweeney Todd. Your thoughts, Shay?
It is, and that's fully understandable. Sweeney Todd it's definitely gotten to be one of the bigger musicals, but it is 100% an off-Broadway musical. It's one of those that's done a lot better in a smaller, kind of more claustrophobic theater that seems more like a sprawling city in the first place. It's a lot darker and grittier, and there's nowhere it doesn't do well when it has as much polish as something like Les Mis or Phantom of the Opera. And it's very much, it is 100% a grindhouse Broadway show.
Right up your alley, huh?
Yeah, it's very much right up my alley, but it's that 1970s exploitation, gore and guts kind of thing, and it's the Broadway show that the punk kids all want to go see.
Yeah, that is. While I say that in my Misfit shirt, like, I am very much drifting away from the IMB. I am crossing the Rubicon into boomer, even though I'm a Gen Xer. That I am like the old punk rocker. I am, as my uncle would say, old and in the way. All right, I think we're done here. Erica, do you have anything else you wanted to add about just in general, or you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Wonderful. This has been our review of Les Misérables, Phantom of the Opera, and Sweeney Todd. Shay will be with us again next week, because Shay said, please stop putting two of these in a 1 month for me. I hate it. And I said, that's fine. And then proceeded to book her for 2 shows in a row. So next week, we'll be doing a focus on Tim Burton, on Triple Feature. In fairness, I booked that a year ago when everyone bullied me about Tim Burton when we were talking about Beetlejuice. So I just planned it a year in advance. And then months later, you and I started doing the musical thing, and it just happened to land on this date. Yeah. I think I'm done now abusing you. But we'll be looking at Edward Scissorhands, because I have never seen it. Again, see every comment I made about Sweeney Todd and Tim Burton. Mars Attacks, which I did see, think is hilarious. Can't wait to show it to Jonas.
I love Mars Attacks.
Oh, Mars Attacks is so fun. And because I needed a third movie, Dark Shadows. And we will be joined by Alexis, who I enjoy abusing, speaking of which, and Mick if she shows up. So that's what we're doing a week from tonight. This past week, this past week on Sunday, there was no show because I had a fucking freak out and canceled it. Don't need to talk about that. We reviewed The Black Phone 2 on Tuesday. Wednesday, we reviewed Peacemaker Season 2. This Saturday, myself and Evan Bevins will be doing an on-trial comparing Red Sonja 1985 to Red Sonja 2025. That ought to be good. Sunday, I'm going to make Jesse start to cry. We're doing a Darren Aronofsky triple feature. We will be reviewing Requiem for a Dream, The Wrestler, and The Whale. And by the end of it, Jesse and I will both kill ourselves. It'll be fantastic. Yes, Ronnie, I've never seen Edward Scissorhands. Monday, we will be reviewing the new Springsteen movie, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Alexis will be reviewing Stranger Things Season 3 with Jesse. And myself and Harry Broadhurst on Wednesday. We've got another Indie-Siders, Effie's Big Gay Brunch UK3, and Josh Barnett's Game Changer Wrestling Bloodsport 15. The aforementioned Tim Burton thingamajiggy. I have 2 Fra Diavolo coming out next week. One was inspired by Erica, called Subtlety is for Cowards. And then on Halloween, I wanted to celebrate Jesse, so I did an EP of Suno songs that he didn't use for his own album, called Songs in the Key of Stiz Narky. So that comes out on Halloween. Shay, why don't you tell people where you twitch and shout?
So I am at TateFX on Facebook. We are pretty much Facebook exclusive. But if you hit me up, I can do props, costuming, special effects work. I can now do animation. Because apparently we pulled that out of my toolbox of insanity a few months ago.
Okay.
Dorian had me do an animation for a thing that one of his clients was doing, and I've been animating since then.
Oh, good. I have a new project.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I can't get into the specifics of it, but I took an entire text conversation and turned it into a song, which is not an unknown thing. People do that. There's a whole guy that's his whole gimmick. Mm-hmm. I took a text conversation and I turned it into like a jazz song. And I didn't want to release it as a Fra Diavolo, so I need to come up with a new band name. And I've been kicking around. Originally the band name was the Pansexual Peter Pan Peanut Butters. And I don't think I can get away with using Peter Pan. So I'm not entirely sure if that's public domain or not. I think it's in public domain now, but either way, I didn't want to get myself.
I think the book is in public domain. I think the book was written in like 1890 something. Yeah,
there's a Peter Pan like horror movie out there, so I'm fairly certain Peter Pan now is not the exclusive property of Disney. But I really didn't want to fight with I've already had one fight with technology this week. I don't want to have another one. Yeah. So I was just like, let me just change the name. And so, considering this was a very passive-aggressive thing that I did that amused myself, I renamed it the Passive-Aggressive Pansexual Peter Pan Peanut Butter. Take 2. The Passive-Aggressive Pansexual Peanut Butters.
Okay. That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. Also, that's what she said. Listen to me. So that's my so the Passive-Aggressive Pansexual Peanut Butters is my new jazz project, where I take ideas and issues and revenge upon people through jazz and blues, because this amuses me.
I mean, that's really all we're here for. We just amuse ourselves.
You know, why listen to professionally made music by humans?
Yeah.
when you could just make your own music, humiliating your friends and family. So that's what I got going on. You want to finish your plugs?
Yeah, I do all kinds of stuff. If you need something made, go ahead and hit me up on TateFX. I'm on Facebook, or contact me through you or Dorian. any of the other crazy people that I know.
All right. Erica has flown the coop. She's gone back to her home planet. So for Erica, wherever she may roam, for Shay, always fun hanging out with you, talking musicals. I have to take drugs. Be well, be safe, and behave.